Hey, what's up, guys? Good to see you. Thanks for coming back. I'm Patch. Good to have you here. I'm going to be doing a little bit more work on the book today. I think today we're going to try to do some stuff with the cover. I have about an hour and a half or so to play, but I wanted to come on so that I could show you guys what I'm doing. So if you're not familiar, I'm writing a book. It's called I'll See You at the Tree, and I'm hoping to have it published next week sometime. I'm going to try to get it done this week. I know the reality of timing, and I know that it may not happen depending on uh, what I get done today and over the next couple of days as far as the book cover. And then I still need to go through and sort of finish editing a few different spots where I may want to shift the wording just a tiny bit. But we've done most of that work, so we're 99% of the way there. It'll be published very, very soon. Anyways, I'm really happy to have you here. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out. Let's go right into the book and get started with that because I think that's kind of why we're here. So this is the book cover so far, and the reason there's a space around it, why you see that guideline, is actually a um, that border is the bleed line. So essentially, I can take this cover all the way up to the edge. So there's a border here, which is the margin. Normally, you would only be able to go up to that edge, but because we have a bleed, we're going out to the edge. That way, when it gets cut off, it'll get cut off right on the edge there, and we should be nice and clean. Um, that's the hope, at least. So nothing important needs or can go into the margin. It has to be something that is okay getting cut off a little bit. So that's why we're not going to put any words in there. We might put, depending on the size, we might put a title on the edge of the book. So we have about 34, 35 pages, I think, right now. We have like 38, almost 39 pages. So we're gonna end up having probably about 40, 40 to 45 total. Because I still have to write a thank you, have to write some stuff that I'm not going to do on stream. I will read that on stream, but that's going to be a lot of thinking about, who I want to put in there and all that stuff. And there's a lot of people that I want to, that I'm going to say thank you to, because it's important. That I just realized I had a little piece of tape over my mouth. That's funny. Oh, that's really funny. If I mute myself in the Discord, then that puts a little tape thing on my mouth. That's kind of cute, actually. But hi there, hello everybody in YouTube world and in Twitch world. It's really good to have you here. Rather in yeah, YouTube and Twitch. We got those two going on. Also, happy birthday to Toby. I gotta send him a message. Let me actually do that right this moment, so that I can remember. Here, I'm gonna very quickly go in to my messages, and I want to find Toby. Where's Toby? There we go. All right, so my buddy Toby, I said, and he's a pup. I said, hey, being happy level up day. I hope it's filled with lots of pets, belly rubs, and snuggles. Gotta have snuggles. Gotta have snuggles. Must needs have snuggles. All right, let's get this party started. So, I think what I want to try to get done today in the next hour and a half is there. So there's this title that Julian wrote. Julian's the artist that did the cover art for my book, and I'm absolutely in love with the work that he did. I kind of want to figure out this title and clean it up. So part of it is that this should be kind of together. So I'll see you at the tree, And I kind of want to reverse the U and the C because it just will feel better. And then maybe drop the at down next to the and put that right above the tree. Although that placement might be okay, but I want to have a little bit more granular control. So what we need to do is take this this title, right, and we need to edit that. So what I'm going to do is go into my photo app. So you'll see that I have an exact copy of this in here. And the reason I did that is because I want to be able to have this image that I can edit and clean up over here. Because basically what we had to do was take the image that Julian drew and expand it over and expand it up because we didn't have enough space for it for a 6x9 cover. So this will fit a 6x9 cover, paperback, I hope, as well as what do you call it? As well as hardcover. And I think that'll work. I think that'll work just fine. So it's looking like there might be a slight interruption with some missing frames and missing skipped frames. I hope that's not really happening. I hope it's not going to be detrimental to everything. To me, on my side, when I look at things, it looks kind of clean. So I think we're okay with everything. But if you notice any issues or any weird lagging things or anything like that, let me know. I would love to hear from you. You can tell me like if something is weird. So what I want to do is I want to copy this, right? I decided what I'm going to do because I tried to copy it in the image here. So I think what I'm going to do is like create a new image with just this part. And let me expand this out so I can get like a rough idea of like how big I want this to be. So we're still going to do like a 300 in imaging, but we're also I'm going to double this up so that we can make it stronger. I'll show you what I mean in just a second. So let's go ahead and click on this thing. Yeah, I gotta try to do this with two hands. So I'm gonna click this with my left hand so I can get the number, and then I can write down what it is I'm looking for. So really I'm doing like a 12 by, so I'm gonna create a new image file. We're gonna go 300. And this is gonna be, we're gonna do in inches. And we're going 12 by 3. And you'll see why I'm doing this in a second. So I'm going to create that. And then I'm going to paste this into it, right? So now we have this image that is in here. I'm going to expand this out so that we have a little bit more space to work with. But basically what I'm going to do is take all of these and turn them into their own things, right? And then we're going to double them up. So I'm going to separate them first, double them, flatten them, and then we'll be good. So basically what I mean by doubling, if I take this and I copy this and I paste it, right? See how it gets darker, right? Every time I do that, it gets a little bit darker. So I want to keep the original writing, right? I just want to darken it a tiny bit, and so this is a way I can do that, just very subtly. Adding another layer to it, so it keeps the same style for the most part, keeps the same little areas in the lines that are sort of unique with the handwriting, which is really cool. But this will let me kind of play with that. So first thing we want to do is I'm going to get rid of these because we don't need to do this yet. First thing I want to do is separate these all out. So to do that, I'm going to have this selected. I'm going to go in to my, in this case, let's do freehand. And I'm going to go through and just like freehand select these, right? Because really, all I want is the words, right? So I'm going to copy that. I'm going to try pasting this. I'm going to see if this will actually do what I hope. Right? So I'm going to say this is you. So you. Which is good. Let's hide that one for a second. Oops. I don't know why that's it's doing that. It's weird. Because this should only be that thing, right? I don't know why that's showing. Well, whatever. I don't know. We'll figure that one out. We'll figure that one out in a second. That's so strange. Alright. Alright. I mean, okay. Like, if I delete that, this should be its own thing. This should be its own. This is, although this is... Alright. I am so confused right now. I'm so confused. Okay, so I guess this is the U? And this is the actual title. Is that what we're saying? That's what we're saying. Yeah. Okay. Okay. All right. That's fine. All right. So I'm gonna rewrite this. I'm gonna say full title. That way, when I go in and do some more edits, hopefully that will resolve itself. So I'm gonna go here and take aisle. So I think I know what is happening. Is like, you know, I'm just basically selecting these. I'm saying copy, and then I'm telling it like in the thing itself that I'm gonna move it around. But I'm not actually doing that because really what I'm doing is I am. This is aisle. So what I'm doing is I'm turning it into its own thing. So if I select aisle here, this should do its thing there. Oh, wait, nope. Let's not do that. Let's not do that, please. There we go. So this should now work. Aisle, even though that's a little bit longer than it used to be. Yeah, I'm gonna redo the aisle one, I think. Yeah, I'm gonna redo that one. So I'm gonna delete that. Alright, so we have you. And we have okay, we got our full title. Right? And so basically what I need to do is just copy this part out. Right? So we go like alright, I'm gonna copy that and paste that. And that's all I'm gonna do. That's all I'm gonna do with that. Right? So this is gonna be aisle. Oops. The reason I'm doing this is because I really, really like the handwriting that Julian did for this, and I think it'll be really cool. So I'm going to copy this again. I'm going to paste that. And you'll notice that it's getting darker every time. And part of the reason for that is that it's layering on top of itself. Right? So when I do this, this is still selecting an aisle. Right, so that's still selecting an aisle. It did not select C. Alright, let's delete that. Alright. Oh, you know why? I think I know why. I think I didn't have that selected, probably. I didn't have the title part selected, so it selected something within. Alright, let's try that again. I did not want to set global opacity. Holy shit. Opacity should be 100%. No? Normal. I want to darken it a tiny bit. I mean, we could do it this way too. That might be the smarter way to do it, honestly. But for now, I just want to get these copied. So let's go back into the title pane. Go around this puppy, like that. Boom. I'm gonna copy, and we're gonna paste. And this should now be C. So if I do that, move it around, we now have C. So now I'll be able to like place these in different places, which is, you know, very happy, very exciting. All right, there we go. I'm gonna leave that as is for right now. I'm gonna go ahead, select that, select full title again, and here's where we're gonna go over and do at. Oops. Let's redo that. There we go. Alright, again, copy, paste, at. Alright, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to keep doing the same thing for all of these. The, copy, paste, the. Alright, same deal, select full title, and then we're going to go in here and grab the tree. So we do that. Boom. Copy again, and paste. And this is tree. So now what I can do is I'm going to arrange these. I'll see you at the tree. All right, so I'm going to take these, select those. I'm going to group these together. Boom. I'm going to call this group title split. So I'm going to keep them together as a group. So it's going to make it easier to move them as well. So I'm going to copy this over. Right, I'm going to take that, and now I can go back to the, yeah, those are my pods. I can go back to this image, right? I can say, okay, let's get rid of these three title sketch things. Let's delete those. All right. These guys are sort of hidden. There's like, so this helps me find out like where the barcode's going to be, for instance, right? And then these guys are going to sit here. I think I'm gonna leave them in for now. There was something I had to check though, because there was something about the size that was different with this one compared to the other, and so let me look at the document. Margins. They're 0.25, 0.25, 0.25, 0.25. That's fine. So the margins don't really matter as much, right? I mean, they do matter, but I'm not stressing out about it. What I want to do here is, I'm just checking something really quick. All right, so that's okay. Now let's check the. I'm actually gonna just check the document without bringing you guys over. So I want to see from here. This is, what am I looking at? I will look at this guy and look at spread properties and margins 0.25, 0.25, 0.25, 0.25, which is fine. Options. So this one is dimensions 13.25 by 9.5. Width and height, I should say. Alright, so if I come back over here, let's take a look at the document settings again. So if I go, is that in there? So previous like bottom, alignment, transform, layer effects, rasterize. So let's go up here, because I know it's up here. So we have margins 0.25, 0.25, 0.25, 0.25. Okay. Oh, and we also want to look at the document size, right? So edit in designer, edit in publisher. I'm in publisher, or no, I'm in photo. Oh, wait. Oh, I see. Oh yeah, because I'm in photo, I can move it to publisher. Forgot about that. All right. It's not a layer. I want to see the entire document. Resize document, resize canvas. Unclip, rotate, flatten. I don't want to flatten anything. We know the margins are good. Let's look at resize. So it's 12.25 by 9.25, and that is where the problem came in. That's where the problem is, because it's actually 13.25 by 9.5. But I think that's wrong, because it should be 12.25 I have it wrong on the book side, because if it's 12 inches and my gutter, my boundaries are 0.25, that would mean the image itself inside should be a 6 by 9 on both sides, right? So let me show you what I'm talking about. If I go over, excuse me, over here, um, actually, we can look at the original book and find out for sure. Because if I do this, I go, let's do that here. Spread properties. It's 12 by 9. And then I have margins built in. Because it's 6 across, from border to border is 6, and border to border is 6. My margins are going to be different here because of the gutter. So my inner margin is going to be 0.375, my outer margin 0.5. That keeps it at 6 by 9 thing. So it's 9 tall and 12 wide. And then I have this bleed, and the bleed is an extra 0.25, I think, or 0.1 0.135 or something like that. I forget what the actual number is, so the full number, but it's something like that. Anyways, so I need to make that edit. I don't know why I did that way. It's really interesting. I'll have to figure that out. Anyways, so we're gonna go back to this. So we need to redo these, right? So we're gonna go to the spread. The actual size. Go to spread. Come on. Can I edit the spread? Go to spread. Spread properties. That's what I'm talking about. All right. So this is supposed. This should be 12 by 9. I mean, that's the actual document size, and so I messed that up, which means it's gonna kind of play with our stuff a little bit. Margins, we have 0.25. Scaling, don't have to worry about. And I did set the bleed thing wrong. All right, so that actually might work out better, anyways. All right, so let me go, and if we resize this, right, just to move it for a second. How do I do it so it stays consistent? There we go. So it's a 12 by 9, right? This border right here, drag to select all, shift. Oh, this is still doing the bleed the right way, I think. I think that's still doing the bleed the right way. Oh, cancel. Don't want to do that. Spread properties. Scaling, anchor to spread, margins. I forget how I added that bleed. I can't remember. That's so strange. 1 second. Let me just look that up because brain no worky. So this is Affinity Publisher 2, add bleed margin. Add to and adjust bleed settings from creating a new document later through the document setup. You can specify bleed values in the bleed section of the new document dialog by navigating there. Select the bleed tab. Adding, adjusting, go to File, Document Setup. Boom. And then bleed tab, 0.125, 0.125. Okay. All right. So I thought it was 0.13 something. So it's 0.125 is a bleed. All right. And our master document should be just 12 by 12. 12 by 9 rather. We also have margins of 0.25. All right, so that's good. So this is the actual, this would be what the actual cover would look like. That said, it's going to change a little bit because of the number of pages. So I'm counting on a rough 12 by 9, but it's probably going to expand out just a tiny bit because of the center here, the gutter, or the spine. So um, let me check something really fast. I'm going to make sure I'm like within, you know, with close enough. I want to make sure that I'm close enough to everything to make sure that it's that's working okay. Oh, by the way, this I forgot to switch over to show you what I was doing here. So this is the proper format because this is a 6 by 9, right? And if I do, let's change the view. Oh, it's not a preview. So the bleed is the all the way out here, the like white edge. That part gets cut off. This part right here should go to right of the edge and then get cut off. But basically, what I have to do is make sure that anything that's in that spot is not super important. Even though that's going to cut off right there in this at a 6.6 by 9 or 12 by 9. Um, I still need to make sure that this is accurate because what's going to happen is this will get attached to the back of this, right? So whatever's on the back page of this, which I think is just going to be just blank. I haven't figured that out yet. I haven't figured out exactly what I want to do with that yet. Um, but if we go back to the cover, I just want to check really fast. So I'm going to ask GPT, and actually I can bring them on, I think. I just have to figure out which thing they're loading into, and then you'll be able to hear me talk to GPT, which would be kind of fun.
If there's anything specific you want to try out or need help with once everything's connected, just let me know.
All right, so that is GPT. Alex, we're live on Twitch and YouTube. Do you want to say hi to everyone?
Hey everyone, it's awesome to be here with all of you on Twitch and YouTube. I hope you're all having a great day and enjoying the stream.
All right, so the question I have, I'm using Affinity Publisher and Affinity Photo. I'm trying to make the back cover, or rather the cover for the book, I'll See You at the Tree. The dimensions of the book are 6 by 9. So I have a layout that is 6 by 12 with a 12-inch, with a quarter-inch margin around the edge of the book cover itself, and then there's a bleed that goes out 0.125. I'm wondering if I need to expand it more because the book cover itself would probably be a little bit longer based on like the spine. So the book's going to be about 45 pages. So I need to know what the actual printable distance is, and then so that I have the document size right. That way I can create the image, and we'll get within maybe a quarter inch or so, which will be fine. But I do need to figure out what the actual dimensions are going to be, so that I can put those into the photo app, and then put the right images into Publisher. Use my baseline. Let's go with simple answers. No summaries, no long-winded stuff. All I need is sort of the basic information about what I need to do.
For a 45-page book with a 6 by 9 inch trim size, the spine width is roughly 0.11 inches. This means your full cover layout should be about 12.11 inches wide. Keep the 0.125 inch bleed and the quarter-inch margins as is.
All right, thank you very much.
You're welcome. If you need any more help or have any other questions as you go along, just let me know.
I really do love that. So what we're going to do what they were saying. So we're going to go into document setup. We're going to change this and put 12.11. 12.11. I'll say okay. So that'll expand it out just that little bit, which is important. Because the cover is going to be a little bit longer than the interior of the book because of the spine. The 40 pages will stack up probably to this is saying 1/10 of an inch or so, because it's a small book, and I'm sure the hardcover version is going to be a little bit different. Actually, let's ask about that. I'm assuming the dimensions that you gave me are for a soft cover. Would it be the same for a hardcover copy, or is a hardcover going to be a different size, or is it going to be the same?
Hardcover dimensions do differ a bit because they usually require a larger spine and some extra room for the cover to wrap around the boards. So for a hardcover, you'd want to add a little more to the width and height. It's best to confirm the exact specs with your printer or platform just to make sure everything lines up perfectly.
Well, we're using Amazon KDP, so can you do the research for me and figure out for a 45-page book what's the size going to be for a for the cover? I should say for the cover and for a paperback. So a paperback I know is going to be the same dimensions, a 6 by 9 plus a little bit extra for the spine. But what I need to know is for the hardcover. I assume the hardcover itself is going to be a little bit taller and a little bit wider for the outside edges, potentially, like just maybe slightly, and then the spine itself is going to be a little bit bigger too. So can you help me figure out? And don't look anywhere else other than official documents within Amazon. I want you to figure out for me what the actual dimension should be for for a hardcover cover page, really.
For a 45-page hardcover book on Amazon KDP with a 6 by 9 inch trim size, the full cover would be about 15.85 inches wide and 9.25 inches tall. That includes the spine and the bleed.
All right, how big is the spine itself?
The spine for a 45-page hardcover book on Amazon KDP is about 0.11 inches wide.
That's okay. I mean, so that's going to be the same as the paperback. Does that sound right? Is that right?
Yes, for a 45-page book, the spine width is generally quite small, and it will be roughly the same for both paperback and hardcover. The main difference in dimensions comes from the cover's wraparound area and the bleed for the hardcover, not the spine thickness itself.
By wraparound, what do you mean? Is that how it tucks into the book?
Exactly. The wraparound is the extra cover material that folds around the edges of the hardcover boards and tucks inside. This ensures that when the hardcover is assembled, the printed cover art extends all the way to the edges and inside folds, giving it a neat finished look.
Am I able to write stuff on the inside cover? Because I haven't done anything with this yet, and like I'm building the soft cover right now, and need to figure out like should I be building the hardcover as well? So like
Yes, you can add design elements or text on the inside of a hardcover cover, like end papers or special messages. If you want to plan that out, it's definitely good to design it from the start. It just depends on the kind of experience you want to create for your readers.
can you point me to the right place to look if I want to get like a template that I can use for a book with about 45 pages, hardcover and soft cover for Amazon?
You can use Amazon KDP's cover calculator and template generator to get the exact template you need. Just enter your book details like page count and trim size, and it'll generate a template for both hardcover and softcover. That's the best place to get everything set up accurately.
Right, but can you provide a link to that for me, please?
You can find the Amazon KDP cover calculator and template generator at kdp.amazon.com/cover calculator. Just head over there and you'll be able to generate the template you need.
Awesome, thank you.
You're welcome. If you have any more questions or need any more help along the way, just let me know. Good luck with your book cover design.
Well, hey, thanks. All right, so we're gonna go over to Amazon KDB cover calculator. Because I may as well, be as accurate as possible. Make sure we have the right stuff. We got the right stuff, baby. All right, so while I'm doing that, I'm gonna play one of the time lapses. I guess let's do the cover time lapse because why not? Um, that way, you know, you can watch the cover doing its thing. So this is basically this is the image that we're going to be using for our thingy for our book cover, our thingy. All right, so I'm going to say hardcover. Let's go paperback, standard color, paper type, white paper, reading direction, measurement units, interior trim size, page count 45. Let's say 45. So I need to be signed in. I might need to be signed in. Learn more about trim size, page count, white paper. Reading direction left to right, measurement units in inches, and we want a 6x9 paperback, and page count is 45. Calculate dimensions. All right, so okay, this changes things a little bit, tiny little bit. So I'm gonna take and copy this page because I kind of want to have this as a reference point. And let's open that up. All right. Crop this a tiny bit. So we don't need to have like, all of that stuff, all that nonsense. So basically just need to have the actual dimensions of stuff. So lead is 0.125. Okay. Margin is 0.125. So the margins are actually much different than what I was given for that. So let's copy and paste this in. So this is paperback margins from KDP. All right, and so what this is going to do is help me figure out like what the actual margins are supposed to be. Right, and I'm going to download the template itself so we can play with it. But what the basic idea here is that I'm going to I'm gonna take this and use this as a thing, right? So it's cutting when it shows the cutting here. It's cutting around the edge. That's the bleed. And this is for a paperback. So I'm gonna change all of the stuff here. I'm also gonna download. Let's download the template. All right. Let's open that up. Let's find that. Let's expand that out or extract it. Extract. All right, and then this is a PNG. Do we want the PNG or the PDF? I guess let's go with the PNG to start. Let's see what happens with this. If I bring the PNG in, the idea being that if I can get this so that it is sort of like in the background, then I'll be able to use it to make sure that my lines and my aligning and all the stuff is correct. It's already transparent, so this really will just give me the proper dimensions. That actually looks like it's right. That actually looks like it's right. Huh. 6x9 book, 120 minutes. So it's 12.351 by 9.25 are the overall dimensions. 1.101 spine width, Standard color, 45 pages, white paper. Black solid line is the trim size. So let me get rid of that thing for now. Right. All right. So let's move that out of the way. So basically, our my numbers are wrong. Some of these, because it does show the trim. The trim looks like it's the right size. It's that point whatever it is, 0.125. So the trim size is good. As far as the bleed size, rather. The rest of it is probably good as well, but hard to tell. So let me drop the opacity on this so we can see. We can still see like the this book itself on top of everything, because it's really all about this guy, right? So all right, so this is the 6x9 where the blue is. There's the gutter in here, right? So the bleed goes all the way to the red. Which is the front cover, 6x9. It's 2. 4 is the bleed. 5 is the margin, 0.125. Okay, so my margin's off, I believe. I think that's what that means. So basically, what I need to do is like, let's look at the spread properties. So my margins, cancel. Let's do this. This document setup. Here we go. All right, so this is saying for the full cover. This is the I'm gonna put the numbers in that this thing is saying. So I'm gonna put the entire document setup. It's 9x5, right? But its full cover is 12.35 by 9.25. I guess is that the whole thing? Yeah, that's the whole thing, including bleed. So it's really 12.35 minus. I guess it would be minus the. Wow, I'm confused now. All right, but we're gonna do this stuff. We're gonna get this right because I need to get this right. Because if we don't get it right, then I'm SOL. Okay, so this is the we're gonna let me save this as this is gonna be the paperback. Paperback cover. We're gonna save that as an Affinity file. That's fine. And then I am gonna duplicate this and change the dimensions for the hardcover once we get it, or once I get the dimensions for that. I'll do that. In the meantime, let me share this with GPT. So I'm going to upload this. This is the paperback. Cover dimensions. Let's put that in. All right, now I'm going to ask some questions. So, you now have the thing. So, What's interesting is when I look at the document. So if I go to document setup within Affinity Publisher 2, I input the dimensions of my pages at 12.11 for width and 9 inches, and then we have the margins at 0.25, which they should be 0.125. That's not really that big of a deal. So I can change that, fairly easily. I guess the 0.125 is specifically for the cover, and it's like 0.25 interior, but I'm not sure if that is right. So I'm trying to figure that out. Like, why are the margins different? But also, I also want to figure out, like, so I have the bleed set, and it looks to me like if I go out to the edge right where the bleed is, then that paper gets cut off around there. Should I extend the image out as far as the bleed so it's actually cutting off part of the image, or what should I do with that?
Yes, you should extend your background image or any elements that you want to go all the way to the edge of the page out to the bleed line. That way, when the page is trimmed, you won't have any unintended white edges. The bleed ensures that the final trimmed page looks clean and professional. As for the margins, the interior margin is typically a bit larger to account for the binding, while the bleed on the cover or exterior edges is smaller, so having different measurements there is normal.
Is the point is the 0.125 margin, is that because it's the cover?
Yes, exactly. The 0.125-inch measurement is typically for the bleed on the cover, ensuring that any background elements
No,
extend.
no. What I mean is, like, in the thing, there's a bleed of 1.125, but there's also a margin of 0.125. So I want to know if the is the bleed, or rather, is the margin of 0.125, is that normal for the cover as opposed to the interior of the book, which seems to be has to be like a 0.25?
Got it. Yes, it's normal for the cover margins to be smaller, like 0.125 inches, because they just ensure that essential elements don't get too close to the trim. For the interior pages, having a larger margin, like 0.25 inches, helps with readability and ensures nothing is lost in the binding.
Right, but I think that Amazon requires that it be 0.25. Isn't that correct? I need you to research that.
According to Amazon KDP's guidelines, the margin for covers should indeed be at least 0.25 inches. For covers with bleed, they recommend at least 0.375 inches. So the 0.25-inch margin is a standard requirement for KDP covers.
No, I'm talking about the interior of the book, and you're getting the numbers completely wrong.
For the interior of the book, Amazon KDP requires that the outside margins are at least 0.25 inches, and the inside margin, also called the gutter, should be at least 0.375 inches for books with up to 150 pages. This ensures that none of the content gets lost in the binding.
Am I able to actually let's just create a new document. So I'm going to create a hardcover version of this, and
All right, that
right,
sounds like
inches, and it's a 6x9. Page
perfect.
count must be between. So I can't do a hardcover unless I have 76 pages.
Yes, that's correct. Amazon KDP requires at least 75 pages for a hardcover book, so for anything less than that, you'd need to stick with a paperback format.
Well, that sucks.
I get that it can be a bit of a bummer, especially when you have a specific vision in mind, but at least the paperback option still lets you get your book out there. Let me know if there's anything else you need help with.
Yeah, that's true. I guess I'll just publish with the paperback for now, and then go into hardcover when I move to a different publisher. Yeah.
That sounds like
All right.
if you ever need help with that transition or anything else along the way, just let me know. I'm here to help whenever you need it.
So based on the information that I gave you for the paperback with I don't know if I gave, yeah, I gave you the dimension things, and I gave you I don't know if I uploaded this thing. Hang on, I have another thing I'm gonna upload as well that will have the dimensions of the other thing. So that's that one, and really I want to also do this. I'll copy, paste. Don't comment yet. Okay, so with a paperback back cover, um, I know it's a 6 by 9 book, but it says 12.351 by 9.25 is the overall dimensions. Is that the edge to edge, including the spine and the edge borders? In other words, if I'm doing a 6 by 9 back cover, what should my dimensions be in my document? So if my document's set up, should my dimensions be 12.11 by 9, or should I have it be the 12.351 by 9?
You should set your document dimensions to the full overall size, which is 12.351 inches by 9.25 inches. That includes the front cover, back cover, spine, and the bleed area. This way, everything lines up perfectly when it's printed and trimmed.
See, the thing is though, if I take the template that they gave me and I try to put the template over the document, it doesn't line up right. Like the bleed does, I guess yeah, it doesn't line up.
Got it. That can definitely be a bit tricky. In that case, it's important to double check that your document settings match the template exactly, including the spine width and the bleed. Sometimes the difference might be subtle, but making sure all the measurements align precisely with the template should help everything line up correctly. Let me know if you need any specific guidance on adjusting those settings.
I don't think there actually is a spine dimension thing for um, if I'm using Affinity Publisher 2. I don't see the ability to add a spine.
You're right. Affinity Publisher doesn't have a specific spine setting. Instead, you'll want to set up the entire cover as a single spread that includes the front cover, the spine, and the back cover. So you just factor the spine width into the overall width of your document. That way, everything will be aligned properly when you export it.
Well, I guess the question is, like, is the template not like the proper size?
The template from Amazon KDP should be the correct size, but sometimes the way it overlays in Affinity Publisher can appear a bit off if there's any scaling or if the bleed settings aren't aligned perfectly. It's always good to double check that your document dimensions in Affinity match the exact overall dimensions from the template. If everything is set to the same size, then everything should line up correctly when you place the template over your design.
It doesn't. So I need help figuring that out, because if I put in the dimensions
Got it.
for the document, if I put the dimensions in for the document as the 12.351 by 9.25, and then I low overlay the um, this thing. Wait,
Temp
why is my computer locked up? What's going on?
It might just be a brief glitch or something running in the background.
No, I'm not asking about the computer. I'm asking about the document itself. Like, so if I have it lined up, like it does line up on the top, but it doesn't. And if I pull it down, it lines up on the bottom. But the 9.25 total thing is throwing off, or I guess Is there a way to see? Okay, so all right. So when I okay, I guess it's
It
the
sounds like
the document itself. Okay, so the is the 9.25 and the 13 point or 12.347. Is that include the bleed area?
Yes, the overall dimensions, like the 12.351 by 9.25 inches, do include the bleed area. So when you're setting up your document, those dimensions should cover the full bleed. This means your background or any elements that you want to extend to the edge will fit correctly within that
Right,
space.
you're missing the thing. So basically, what I need to do is make the dimensions of the document not 12.35 by 9.25, but actually make the document 12 point whatever it is by 9 point something, taking out the bleed of 0.125 because in this app, the bleed gets extended beyond the document size. Does that make sense? So if I include the document or if I include the bleed area of 0.125, then the cover area should be 12.35 of width minus 0.125, and then height should be 9.25 minus 0.125.
Yes, that makes sense. In Affinity Publisher, if you're setting the bleeds separately, you can reduce the document size by that bleed amount. That way, the bleed area will be added on top of the document size, and everything should line up correctly. So, adjusting your document dimensions to exclude the bleed should help everything match up perfectly.
So what is the actual width and height that I need to use? So 12.35 minus 0.125 and 9.25 minus 0.125. I don't need summaries. I don't need explanations. I just need the numbers.
The adjusted width is 12.226 inches, and the adjusted height is 9.125 inches.
All right, and I'm going to double check the math just to be sure because, I love AI, but sometimes it does not always do math the way it's supposed to, even though it can do like programming and stuff like that, but it doesn't really actually even um, it's programmed to try to help you as opposed to actually giving you proper information. So it's always good to double check the math on things and double check facts on things. Like if you're using it to like help you, I don't know, come up with a schedule or do something kind of funky, something else. Like it definitely does work. All right, so the numbers are right. So what we're going to do is go back into document setup. We're going to change this to 12.226, and the width is, or the height is going to be 9.125. There we go. So now this should, I say should, this should now line up. If I drop that up there, expand this down, there we go. All right, so that does line up. So that means this is the proper dimensions for the, um, it may change slightly by like 0.01 or something if I add another page or a couple of pages. But for the most part, this should be the exact outline for the, I keep saying softcover, for the paperback. So that means that we need to make the document size in the art piece the same size as the cover, which is 12.666, 12.226 by 9.125. And not really, we don't really need to worry about the margins at all because it's not, we're not doing the margins on here. We're doing the margins on the other side. So I may drop these guys in as separate on the cover piece itself so that we can move him around. I'm okay with everything else, but let's first off, let's go and how do I change the document size in here? Document, resize document. All right, so 12 point. 266 by 9.125. All right, so this is going to change things a little bit. I may need to have to sort of redo a couple of things. Um, I'm a little bit nervous about this because you know we've spent a lot of time doing it, and oh, it's not responding. Oh, all right, did that work? Let's see. Nope, it did not. Yeah, I don't want that to. Oh, that's why that did that. 12.226 by 9.125. Resize. All right. So now we just need to make sure that if this is, you know what, let me just double check the dimensions of this thing again, because, you know, I don't want to have to redo this. So let's look at document 12.226 by 9.125. All right, cool. So now we're just going to extend this out, and I may need to do some fill somewhere, or maybe not. Maybe that's going to be perfect. Right where it is. It's a little bit short. It's a little bit short, but you know what? That's okay. I just stretch it down a tiny bit. It's not going to make a difference, really. Um, that small amount, that tiny little amount of movement, isn't really going to like if I did that and squished them up, it would be bad. But in this case, I think that's fine. All right, so I'm going to copy this. Right, I'm going to bring this back over to our book. I'm going to take this, that out, right? And I'm going to paste this one in. So this should be now exactly, this is the background, right? So our background's going to be there. I'm going to leave this in here just as a sort of a thing that we can pull back in if we want to. Because I don't really need to have it there, and he looks a little bit stretched right there, honestly. So I'm going to put him down here. I'm going to get rid of this. I'm going to take the background, and we're going to extend this out to the bleed area. That way, this will have like that sort of bleed all the way. Let's bring that down by one. That way, we don't have when it gets cut, it'll cut this edge right here, and we won't lose anything else. Hopefully. Um, so this should be good. This should be very good. All right, let's go ahead and so this is going to show us like also like where the barcode's going to go, and then you know this gives us a really good like point of reference to figure out where we want other things to go. So I'm gonna go ahead and go into the image thing over here. I'm not going to bother with showing you. I'm not going to bother switching back and forth for this particular thing because really this is just a matter of adding some stuff in. So I'm going to have them there for now. We can make them bigger and smaller in here if we want. Um, the other piece I'm going to add in is just this is going to be a barcode reference. It's not the actual barcode. I don't know what it's a barcode for, but it's I'm gonna add this in. Let's do this and do that. That way I can make this the same size as the barcode thing on here, right? So this way it you know I know where the barcode is going to go exactly, and that way when we go and place it, or when we go and place some stuff, then we'll know for sure what is going on, right? So this is not a real barcode. This is a placement. This is so I know, like, you know, if I get rid of this, I can place that. And that way I'll know if I can put stuff down or if I have to move him because his foot's underneath it or something. Um, which is a concern for sure. Let's bring him. I mean, we can bring him down and have his feet like on the other on all the different sides of the thing, right? But this is sort of the idea, is that I don't want him cut off. Or I don't want my boyos cut off at all. All right, so they're sort of walking in their thing. Um, I don't know if the size is right. Maybe they're that big. Maybe they're that big. I don't know if we want to do some text on here, like we have a text box where we can type some stuff in. But we definitely need to figure that part out. So I don't think there's going to be space in the spine enough for us to write anything, but might as well try, right? Let's try. Let's add a text box in. I'll see you at the tree. Um, and then we're gonna add in. I'll add in my own thing in here too as well. Like, all right, I want to shift this. When I'm looking at a book, I need to find one of my books. If I'm looking at a book, I want to know: is this? Am I like? If I look at the spine, do I read it as if the bottom of the book is on the ground and the top of the book is up? So when I look at it, I can read it that way. I think that's what this would do. I think that's what I'm going to do with that. Right. So we want to bring this to 95 degrees. Hopefully. Do we have a thing in down here I can? Yeah. Or not 95 degrees. We want 45. Not 45. 90. 90 degrees. Only it's the opposite of that. 180. Nope. It's not that. It's right. Let's bring this to 0. And I want to do negative 90. Negative 90. Boom. All right. So then let's take that and put that. Oops. Actually, let me lock that background so I don't accidentally move that. And let me lock the barcode, even though we don't need it there necessarily. But, I'm going to leave it there just so we see it. When I go to print, obviously I'm going to take that out because Amazon's going to add its own barcode in there. And let's see with the tree. So let's call this spine title. And I think that'll work. I don't know though. I mean, what do you guys think? Should I put the title in here? I guess I should put the title in there, just for the fun of it. What time is it? 3:29. All right, I got another half hour before I got to go get ready for an appointment. So I'm gonna go grab a book really fast. So I'll be right back. While I'm going to do that, I'm gonna have you check out the boyos being drawn. So let me do that for you. These two are so adorable. I think that I want to choose. I'm going to let that continue running while I'm playing with a couple of things here. So I'm going to change the font to. I'm going to try the ink-free one. So I kind of like that. I like that font. Let's change the colors. Why is that? Why is there an outline? It shouldn't be. There should not be an outline. And I guess color is going to stay the same. But if we increase this to, let's say, increase it to 15 or 16. Let's do 16. And let me show you what I'm doing. So I can actually, I'm going to take and move this a little bit. So then you'll be able to see the work that I'm doing over here. So typically it's going to be the name, or rather the spine title is that. So I'm going to copy this, right? And paste that, paste it in again, and we're going to call this author. So spine author. And then we're going to move that down. And this is patch, oops, patch T Panda. Right, and that's going to move down like probably like down here ish. This will probably be down as well. So we'll have like a little bit of a spine title, which would be potentially cute. I'm not sure how I feel about that yet, but we'll play with it a little bit and see if it's something I want to do. But right now I'm kind of happy with that a little bit. So let's bring this down. Let's bring this up. Now, actually, along this line, I do want to have. What's that? I don't know what that is. All right, so we're gonna do spine author, spine title. So I'm gonna group these together. And here, let me get this out of the way so you can see what I'm doing over here. So I'm gonna group these guys together. We're gonna call this a spine. Oops, SPINE. There we go. That way, I can enable and disable that really quickly. We do also want to do something down here. So let me add another text box. I'm going to put something down here, and this is going to be patch T Panda. I'm going to go grab another book. 1 second. Okay. All right, so I got a few books just to use as reference to try to figure out what I need to do as far as some like positioning and stuff, and maybe fonts that are used and all that fun stuff. So I'm gonna try to figure that out in the next. We got Yeah, I got about 25 minutes before I gotta go. So um, I illustrated by. Um, Actually, I'm not really happy with the. Hang on, I gotta look a little bit more. A little deeper. Let's look deeper. All right, so there are a lot of different variations on this, like where the title or where the author name goes. I do want to copy this, so I'm going to say this is front author. I'm going to duplicate this because I want to use this for. This is going to be front illustrated illustrator illustrator. All right, and then so I need to take that one, separate that out. Let's move this up a little bit. All right, and this is going to be illustrated by illustrate head by. Now let me get the. I need to get the. It's Chilean, but I need to get the proper spelling so I make sure I writing it correctly. Here we go. So we're gonna go and do. Thank you so much for that follow, Volcar. I appreciate that. Appreciate you coming in. Tell me about yourself, how you found the stream, and normally I'm playing games. Right now I'm working on this book and I'm trying to get this going. But yeah, yeah. I'm only going to be here for probably another 20 minutes or so. Then I have to go get ready for an appointment. But I'll be back on later tonight because I do want to continue sort of working on the book, and I want to go through and actually do like another read through, kind of figure out what I need to do for all this. I'm surprised some of my stuff did not pop up on screen for you. I'm sorry about that. There should have been an announcement. A little thing came on, and whole bunch of. I have to figure out the all the things that happen when somebody follows and subscribes and all that fun stuff. But yeah, I'm really glad you're here. Thank you so much for coming in, spending time. Appreciate you. My goal, actually, this month, I want to try to get to 600 followers. Although I probably should do something more engaging, more fun, like playing a game, which I definitely will. Um, so basically, what I'm doing right now is I'm working on sort of I'm fine tuning like the edges of things or the things that need to get done that I've been sort of pushing off forever. That includes doing the cover, which is what this is, and hold on, wait, is this gonna will that work if I do that? No, it won't. All right, that's fine. All right, let me shrink this or blow this, shrink this. I'm gonna shrink this up a little bit. Um, um, okay, so obviously this is going to need to be a different color for the fill. So I guess let's try going with just a plain white for the fill. That might actually work okay. That might work okay. It would help if I have the entire thing selected though. There we go. So okay, let me get Julian stuff in here. So Julian, Olive. I always mess up the his name. So I am gonna make these things a little bit more prominent so they stand out more. But this is more for trying to get the general placement of where I want things. Um, and this maybe I don't know if I should do by patch because it's like most of the time when you're seeing like names on the thing, you have illustrated down at the bottom, right? And then in a lot of cases it's the name at the top, but that's not. I don't want that. This is just I guess this is just by patch Panda. I don't know. I'll play with that. I'll figure that out because I do want to make sure that I do want to have my name and stuff in there, right? But at the same time, I don't want to take away from the overall feel of it. I don't believe I can do a bold with this particular font. I don't believe I can. Yeah. Let's see if I can. If we multiply it. No. Screen. Hard mix. Exclusion. Divide. Below. I mean, black works in there too, but at the same time, what if we did it? What if we did it? What if we did it so that it was um, like a rainbow kind of thing? Although that'll turn into something weird. I don't really want to do that. So, do we do green, yellow? I think yellow is probably going to be a good color in here. Maybe pink for these because white I don't think is going to stand out as much as I thought it was going to. Yellow will definitely stand out a little bit more than white. Although I'm not crazy about yellow. What about like if we did pink? Can I do pink? Do like a pink? Like a let's do a brighter pink. Hold on. Let me see if there's a different wheel because uh, that makes this a little bit easier to select. So, RGB. Let's go with RGB. All right, so we got that selected. We got that selected. All right, so let's see. The shot to make it. I mean, pink's kind of cool. Um, Not gonna lie, I kind of like it. It's subtle. It's subtle, but it doesn't really blend in. Let me try Julian's in pink as well. Actually, I'm gonna copy. If we go to hex, let's copy the same color so that we have the same thingy. And let's put that in there for him. Yeah, that I can't see it at all. The pink is pretty. It is pretty, but it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work at all. So let's try. Let's do yellow. This white just kind of gets washed up. So let's do yellow. We'll do sort of a brightish yellow, right? Let's make it a little bit more actually yellow, yellow. All right. Let's just go whole hog all the way yellow, yellow, yellow. All right. Let me grab that hex and let's apply that to Julian. Let's see how that comes out because maybe that'll work really well. Maybe not. Patchbot says that you brought pizza. I could really use pizza. I love pizza. I definitely love pizza. I apologize to the guys over in YouTube. I'm sorry I forgot to look at the chat. How you doing? Good to see you. Thanks for coming in. Gonna be on for another 12 minutes or so, and then we'll go from there. All right. I think I like the yellow. I think I like the yellow. But it still doesn't really show up, right? So maybe I need to put something sort of under it. But I guess it doesn't. I mean, I want it to stand out, right? I want it to be seen. I mean, I could do white down there, or what about green? Green, no, green blends in. What about purple? Black's just too dark. Um, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. And same deal with this. Like, I mean, I kind of want to just change the color of that too, right? So then it kind of blends in or feels like part of it, but that doesn't really show up. Like this right here is not. I don't. Yeah, that's better. The line thing to this thing right here. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's what's throwing me off. Right. So if we do both of these the same color, right? We do the line, same deal. It actually looks a lot better. And you know what we can do? You know what we can do? If I take and just move him down a little bit. Is that right? I mean, we want to make sure that we have. So our bleed line goes out to here. Our safe area is there, so we want to keep the text within the safe area, just to be safe. Um, let's try doing something fun. So if I were to maybe change the Julian's cover now, let's try slightly different. Oh, that's not doing that at all. This is only doing variations within, so this isn't even changing the thing anymore, which is weird. Okay, okay. Select that. Oh, nope, nope. Not what I wanted to do. Select that. There we go. Why is that? Oh, that's changing the edge. That's changing the edge. That's why. My bad. This will change the interior color. So if I want to bring this to, say I do want to do, let's say I want to do pink, right? Let's find a nice pink that we can dive into. Not crazy about that. Let's go, if we, I mean, let's do that. So we go with like a kind of a real pink here. Let me copy this and paste this in here too and see how that feels. Still don't like it. Maybe it's too dark. You know, like maybe that's why I'm not really digging it because it's like it's just I need to brighten it up, right? I need to brighten it up a little bit and bring it closer to like the pink side of things. So let's see if I do that, right? Yeah, all right, let's try that. So if we put that here, so it's the same, cancel, then maybe that will, or you know what we can do? See if the colors from the book. See what that looks like. Not quite. Orange is too much. How about blue? No, that's too subtle. Purple? Eh, not quite. I'm still feeling pink. I feel like that's where I kind of want to go with this. Let's try a brighter pink instead. Like maybe there. All right, and to get the full effect, we do have to copy it over. I don't hate it. I don't hate it. I feel like it needs something more though. Like maybe this needs like maybe it needs like a shadow or something underneath it to help it sort of pop out. I just realized music stopped. Why did we have no music? What? That's evil. There we go. I was sitting here like in total silence, like, why is it so quiet? Why is it so quiet? It's so quiet. Shh, shh. It's so something. Shh, shh. Okay, enough of that. And then so I let me go back over to where we were creating the images here. So I got the title split. Let me copy that. Let me bring this back over to this. All right. So I have a lot of stuff in here. All right, we got the front illustrator, front author, right? And I'm gonna group these guys. So I'm gonna group, and this is gonna be front text. Oops, front and text. There we go. Let me open this up, and in here I want to put the split. So let me bring this and put this in here. Maybe. There we go. And then we can play with these. So kind of need to shrink them down, but let me have them all selected and we'll shrink them before I go and start moving stuff around. So that might actually work right there. However, I'll see you. And then I kind of want to move the at down a little bit. The tree. I can turn this a little bit. So we did see you. Right? You go like sort of like that. See you. Curious why these, like, the color looks different on those two. It's kind of weird. Why that shouldn't be any different. At the tree. Yeah, I don't like this. I'll see you. I mean, I'm not. I'm not nuts about it. I feel like I want to move Julian into yellow. I feel like if I put maybe is it possible to drop shots? If show grid, show text flow. I don't know what that does. I don't know what show text flow does. Show rulers. Show text ruler. Don't really need to see text ruler yet. Customize toolbar, customize tools. Alright, so I should be able to, like, take that. It's not really the layer that I want to do. Select the text object, navigate to the FX button, layer effects, the layers panel. Where's that? Oh, right there. Oh. Okay. Alright, that's cool. Outer shadow. Hello. Radius 5. Alright, did that add anything? Where's that? Alright, that didn't seem to do anything. Offset. Intensity radius. Let's try 13. Let's try, so we keep these consistent. Let's try 12. Opacity, we're at 50%. With it like that, it's at 50%. What if we try and change the color? If we change the color to, let's try, I don't want to use yellow. Let's try, I guess, maybe pink. Just for shits and giggles. I'm just curious, like, yeah, did it actually make it pink? And let's change the opacity to 100%. Intensity. Let's increase the intensity. Yeah, this doesn't really do what I wanted to do. Alright, that's fine. Let's keep it back to black. And then this one we had a 12. Opacity. Opacity 50 seems okay. So we get 50, 0, 12, 0, right? So far. 50, 0, 12, 0. Just writing these down. So I have outer glow. 315 is the angle. 315 degrees. So that doesn't really make sense because that's not. Okay, doesn't matter. Not gonna even try. It's the offset tool. What's the offset tool do? I don't know what that does. Yeah. All right. Cool. So let's do the same thing to this one. So we're gonna do outer shadow. All right. 50. This is gonna be 12. Let's try increasing the. Increasing that up a tiny bit more. So it stands out just a little bit. Actually, 50 is fine. 50 is fine. All right. I mean, I'm glad about that. That helps it kind of stand out a little bit more. I do want to kind of try with these two. I'm curious to see how this would look if we add. I mean, an offset 12 would be probably too much here. Maybe. Yeah, it's a little bit too much. We also don't want we want the angle because this is moved. We want the angle to be more like here. Let's try an offset of 8. Let's try 5. Not sure what intensity does. If I select this, right? oh wait, I don't have it selected. There we go. I have, not that. Spine. There we go. I have offset selected, and if I do intensity, it doesn't seem to do anything. Radius. Oh, that's blur. Ooh, actually, do we want it hard like that, or do we want it like a soft, like sort of just a blur? So it just stands out. I kind of like that more. Radius 7.2. Radius 7.5. Let's do that. I like that. So we get 50, 7.5, 4, and 0. And this one is 225. This is spine. This is author and illustrator. Alright, I want to check out. So you have, I gotta go soon. I really gotta start getting ready. But I want to see how this would look if we do the same thing, where we have the change in from hard to more of a soft focus. Like, how does that change things? If we do 7.5 like we did, stand out enough still? Do we think it stands out enough? 7.5. I kind of want to be consistent across everything. It still stands out, but it's a little bit more subtle. Like, it's not obvious that there's, some crazy thing, but it does stand out of the page a little bit more. So I'm actually okay with that. I'm actually very okay with that. All right, let me save. Because I sometimes forget to save, and that's not good. Forgetting to save is not a good thing. All right. Well, I think that that is going to do it for now. I have to go get ready for an appointment, so I won't be able to do much until later on tonight. I should be back. I think I'll be back home. Let's see, the appointment's at 6. I should be back home by like about 7:30. Probably I'll probably come back on around 8. Although I might not want to work in the book. I might want to play a game or something. So it would be awesome to have you guys here if I'm playing a game too. But yeah, so I'm going to go get ready for the appointment. And I will come back and we'll do a little bit more later on tonight. But thank you so much for coming in and hanging out. I really appreciate it. Bolkar, thank you for the follow. Appreciate that. Thank you also to Ferminaquista and Furry Podcasts for the follows as well. You guys are amazing. You're awesome. And not sure exactly what we're going to be doing next, but I'm definitely going to need snacks and good friends by my side. So get your paws ready for our next adventure together. Socks optional, beans required. But yeah, keep being weird. Leave paw prints of kindness everywhere you go, and stay safe. Okay, guys. You're all amazing beings, and I love you, and can't wait to see you again. I will see you very soon. Take care.